Alright, so let's get started here. So we have the RadioKing TX18S, and it's been on OpenTX for some time, but OpenTX has not been updated in a couple of years. So, what if we were to upgrade this to EdgeTX? Seems to be all the rage. Well, I did just that. Let's fire this puppy up.
Welcome to EdgeTX. Switch warning. Alarm reset.
It's on low power. So why switch to EdgeTX? Well, they've solved a lot of problems. It has touch screen support. Oh, look at that, touch screen. Model select. Isn't that pretty? And it just seems to be actively developed. It's got a lot of new features. So EdgeTX is a good thing. And it seems to work pretty good on this radio. But this radio is not per se supported. Now the RadioKing TX18S is kind of a knockoff radio. It comes between the Radio Master. It's kind of a clone of a Radio Master, made by another company that seems to have the same internals as their biggest competitor, but supposedly is not a branch off from their biggest competitor. But yet it seems to have all of those things. So how do we get EdgeTX on here? It seems to work well. I'm using it with the 4-in-1 module, which I've updated, and the firmware on, and a happy model ExpressLRS 900 megahertz module in the back, which is also upgraded. All the firmware is upgraded. So let's have a look at what we had to do here to get this on there. So basically you got to go to edgetx.org. EdgeTX is pretty darn good. And down here we see EdgeTX Black Pearl is out. Now I've installed Black Pearl. Now you're going to have to go through this guide, and you can download the EdgeTX companion for Windows 64 or whichever operating system you are. This is basically the old OpenTX companion, but kind of gutted and changed, and a lot of stuff disabled on it. It's not really useful. It's useful for backing up your models and stuff, but it's not really useful for a whole lot else. But you're going to need a few pieces of software to do this. You're going to need to find the SD card contents. The SD card contents, if you go through the GitHub repository for it, you will find you need the C480 by 272, so that stands for color screen, 470 by 272. It used to be called the Horus SD card pack, but now it's called that. There's the EdgeTX companion software. I downloaded it, but I have not installed it. I didn't use it. Then you're going to need to find the EdgeTX firmware, and the correct version for that will work on this radio. There is no exact correct version. And you're going to need the EdgeTX sound card sounds pack. And not in this list, you are going to actually need to transfer your models and settings and whatnot from your other radio, from your current SD card in your radio. And you can do that manually, easy enough. So, we've got your radio here. And you're going to want to, with it turned off, flip it over, pop your hatch, your battery to the side, your SD card's down here. You're going to want to pull that SD card out, so I don't need to pull it. Then, once you've got it pulled, take your handy dandy little card adapter, shove your card in it, stick it in your computer. It'll show up as a drive. And the first thing you want to do is copy everything from that drive into a folder with today's date on it, and there you go. Back up that entire card. Just drag it, drop it, copy, paste it, whatever. Get that backed up for your first job. And then, from there, you're going to want to unpack this and make it as your new. So what I did is I unzipped this to a folder and named it new SD card contents. Then from my old card, I pulled the models and radio, and then I had some custom sounds, so I merged those sounds in. And I put the BF folder in here, which is the Betaflight folder, which corresponds to some tools that I had. I pulled these tools from my old image. Although the Betaflight tools, you should delete them and replace them with the latest ones for the build. I haven't done that yet. Then you're going to want to get your firmware. Now the firmware that you want from the website is the one for the T18. So when you download the pack from the website, you'll end up with his firmware. And we unzip that, and we go down this list, and we look at this list, and we see T18 right here. This is the one you want, T18. So what you do is you just do a copy of that, go to your new SD card contents under firmware, and paste it right in there. And at this point, you basically have your SD card prepared. And then your SD card with all your stuff on it, you're going to have to put it in the radio again, and then you're going to have to boot your device. So, with your SD card back in here, you're going to fire up your radio.
Welcome to EdgeTX. Switch warning disarmed.
Now I've already done the upgrade and everything, so you're going to get a bunch of warnings saying your SD card's funky and it doesn't like it. You just kind of go through it, just kind of dunk, 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 dunk. You go sys, page to firmware. Then you click on this, and then you click on flash the bootloader. Then you wait for it to flash your bootloader. And then once it's done flashing your bootloader, you can exit out and you shut down your radio. So then we have to boot into bootloader mode. So hold these two trim pieces in, trim switches in, and boot. And then you tell it to write the firmware. So click on it to write the firmware, and wait for it to finish. Then you can exit.
Welcome to EdgeTX. Switch warning. Disordered reset.
So once we've rebooted, after it's written that firmware, we have got EdgeTX. And your widgets will be gone, so you'll have to, you can do long presses on the screen to do things, and just play with it and you'll get it figured out. For screen settings, you can set up your widgets and whatnot the way you like them. But yeah, it's nice to have that touchscreen working. The touchscreen's always been on there, but it's never worked. And it's cool. I have custom images for my models. And I was able to transfer all these images across from the radio by taking them from the images folder. These are some custom images that I made for my various models. There's a bunch I haven't done. And there we go, EdgeTX on here. I mean, as far as the 4-in-1 module, the 4-in-1 module needs to be updated also at some point. And it's that similar process to going to dropping it on the SD card in the firmware folder, and then highlighting it, and then it won't say flash bootloader though. It will say flash internal or external in the prompts in the menu, and you would say flash internal. And interestingly, the ExpressLRS module is the same way to upgrade the firmware. You drop it in the firmware folder, you navigate to it in here, and you tell it to flash the external module to upgrade your ExpressLRS on here. And, well, there's a couple ways to do it. I mean, you can go into the Lua Scripts, and you can activate the, so you can go into the Lua Scripts and you can activate the Wi-Fi protocol, and then you can use ExpressLRS configurator after you've browsed to the Wi-Fi page with a laptop or something, that after you connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot created by your radio with your Wi-Fi on the laptop, and it'll be called ExpressLRS. The password will be ExpressLRS. And then you do 10.0.0.9, I believe it is, in your browser, and then there'll be a place there that you can update the firmware. And you compile that firmware for the ExpressLRS module in the ExpressLRS configurator on the ExpressLRS GitHub site. Or you can drop it on the SD card in that firmware folder and then just use that and just flash it directly. So there's a couple ways you can upgrade your ExpressLRS module or other modules for that matter. But it's a pretty powerful radio right now with EdgeTX, touchscreen, and 900 megahertz ExpressLRS. This radio is it's like under $200. So it's pretty cheap and it's got Hall sensor gimbals. It's actually, the support for it is not out there like with the other ones. Like it's not popular, it's not obvious, but the support is there indirectly because you just target that T18 software all the time, and it seems to work just fine. But that gets us Black Pearl, which is the latest EdgeTX, and I mean, as far as having every latest greatest rendition, I mean, this gets you a robust build with all the latest greatest features. So, as far as upgrading beyond this, I don't know that there's huge advantages to it. But I mean, this gets sub $200, gets you a radio with color touchscreen and all gimbals, you know, a lot of switches, a lot of options. 4-in-1 modules that can do everything from Spectrum to Fly Sky to you name it. It can even do those little Ishin E10s and stuff and toys. It's a very versatile radio for the price. I like it quite a bit. I don't have a huge budget, and you might not either. So, for anybody who's got this radio and wants to get it up to the latest greatest, it's a few-year-old radio now. It was a clone of one that was a bit older because it was fairly well established. It's not the latest greatest model out there, but very versatile. Especially if you do a lot of different things. I use this for 5-inch freestyle drones. I have 10-inch drone. I use it for all my RC boats, my RC cars, my RC semi. I'm even developing a RC snowmobile, but I'm not running down discs in it. Maybe this winter we'll get more onto that. But there you go. There's your RadioKing updates to get it up to par as much as it can be in 2022. It's still relevant. Yay! I hope this helps anybody who's got this radio to get the upgrades in it so that they get all the features that it can do. The touchscreen is really nice. It's just a really nice feature. You can do all the themes. EdgeTX has a bunch of themes. You can do sound packs. You can play with all that stuff. You've got all the, of course, the OpenTX. What they're famous for is their configurability. You can do custom sounds. One of the things that seems to have survived is I used to have this one on for brightness, but it's not doing it anymore. But I set this one up for volume using some of the mixes. And there's tutorials online as to how you can do that. I used to have this one set up for screen brightness, but it seems to have got knocked out with the upgrade. So I might look into that if I give a shit enough to do it. But there's a lot of great things about this radio. I like it. I wasn't totally sure when I bought it, but I was trying to economize as much as I could, and as far as for an average user, it's a very good radio. That's all for today.